Okay, here's bed number 3 again. And I'm going to go through quickly and demonstrate the different hoes that I have. This is what you call an old, I guess an old-fashioned. This is a very old hoe. This is just a regular garden hoe. It's got a nice edge on it. It should be sharpened. It's not. That's my problem. If it was sharpened, it would be able to cut the weeds better. What it would do is it cuts the base, the green part of the plant away from the roots. And then this one here is what they call a stirrup hoe, or back and forth hoe, or it's got 2 cutting surfaces. It can cut on this side and this side. This one is sharper. I haven't taken care of them. So what you're going to do is you're going to go look in your bed first. You're going to look for any weeds that are like this, that you know are deep-rooted. If they're a deep-rooted weed, the reason you want to get this out is because cutting the top of this root off, or the green off, the root has lots and lots of energy that it can send it back up. You're also going to look for your weeds that have, this for me is Creeping Charlie. It has runner roots. So if I just cut it, the odds are that it's going to come back. I'm going to throw that in my lawn because Creeping Charlie does fine in the lawn. Doesn't like to be walked on, but it can be, so I just let it grow in the lawn. So you're just going to look for certain kinds of weeds. You don't need to do the entire bed when you have a stirrup hoe or a back and forth hoe or a regular hoe. I'm using the word hoe, and I hope this doesn't get kicked me off of YouTube, because apparently that's one of those words that gardeners must not say. But I'm referring to an instrument that you use, been used for many, many years. The fact that somebody decided to use the word for something else is not my fault. So, or maybe the garden implement was changed. I don't know. But either way, I know that's what I know it is. Took me a while to figure out what they were even talking about on one of the Facebook groups. So I won't be putting that in the description. And if I do, I'll hyphenate it or something. Don't want to get kicked off of YouTube for calling something what it really is. Okay, so I just went through and pulled the nasty of the nasties. And then normally what you would see me do is come through with my hand and flatten this. This has a lot more Creeping Charlie, but that's okay. Oh, it's only in this one spot. Okay. I love to pull weeds. Can you hear that correct gravity? It's a little windy today. But just that pop. As you're breaking through the roots, as you're breaking the plants. Maybe not today, because it's kind of windy today. But I'm sorry, Bubble Wrap, you got nothing on this. Okay, I think that's most of it right here. I don't have my gloves on again. This little cute little bandit came along and said, I want gloves, Mommy. So now Mommy doesn't have gloves. It happens. Earlier I didn't have a hat, so, you know, you take what you can. Although I was very glad to put the hat on, because otherwise I would have had dirt on my hair. So, you know, I was glad to get the hat back. Okay. See, once you get me started, I could just spend all day down here. I wanted to show you the hose. Okay, good enough. I can come back and fix the rest of this. Look at this. I lied again. Okay. So this is the stirrup hoe. And what you want to do is you just want to run along the surface. What you're doing is you're cutting those green weed tops from the roots that are underneath. You're just cutting them off so that they're no longer a whole plant. This really works great on grass seeds. I did this bed about 2 weeks ago, so it's had a lot of weeds come up that I should have gotten when they're small. Now, the benefit of the hoe is the fact that once I get my plants in here, I can go around them in between them. So if I have a row of plants, I can do down the side next to them. Just by standing here, I can do this. This hoe is nice because it goes back and forth. This one is also not, you can do somewhat the same with this. I find you don't need as much control with that one. This one you kind of have to learn because it'll dig in on you and you really just want to cut those weeds. Oh, find little pieces of plastic. Yes, sir. Okay. What, honey? Okay. I have no idea what he's saying. He's still 2. So you can just go along and see, it's actually, when you see me with my hand going across the soil, it's the same thing. And the nice thing about this too, is you can level the bed out a little. And I'm doing this all while I'm standing. I'm 5'5". These are the handles that came with it. This handle is probably older than me. You can get them longer or shorter. The stirrup hoe has bolts through it, so you could always get a different handle for it. I had first seen that stirrup hoe, I do believe it was either on the Victory Garden or in a similar show on public broadcasting with Elliot Coleman, and I've had one ever since. Unfortunately, somewhere along the line, the move, I lost one. I don't know if it just got donated or somebody borrowed it or what the reason was, but that one's probably only about 10 years old. Which means I was using it at 3. No, I wasn't. So see, it just gets, it disrupts the weeds. If you can disrupt these weeds from growing, a lot of this just seed, you know, you disrupt a plant growing inside and it won't always come back if you break it. Yes, honey. Oh, it's up there. Yes, I will get it for you. Okay, but that's it in a nutshell. I will come back through. I'll pull a little bit of the greenery out of here. I will pull some growing maple trees growing. The maples just had what we call them helicopters. They just drop these seeds and you find helicopters. You find maple everywhere. So now you're left with the dirt. Now you've got the greens, but when you see the greens, they're not attached to their roots, so they're not going to grow back. And if they did, they've got brought up to the surface, they're more likely going to die. So they're not going to survive being manhandled like this, or woman handled, or person handled, or whatever one handled. Baby handled. That's the worst. So again, this is just a regular garden hoe, and the other one is a stirrup hoe. I don't have a lot of fancy tools. I don't need a lot of fancy tools. It usually takes me a while before I even decide on a new tool, although some of them I just go, woo, and I have to have it. But usually it coincides with gifting, and then I can suggest it to somebody. So that is it. Enjoy. I've got to go take care of somebody yelling for mommy. All right. If you like these kind of videos where I show me, where you can see me pulling weeds, hit the like button. Thank you very much. Bye.